All right, today we're going to talk about weather. Okay, here's our key terms. Make sure you put them in your journal, okay? All right, what is weather? Weather is the condition of the atmosphere in a certain place at a certain time, okay? And it's like, look out the window. What's the weather? That's what it is. If you can see it, that's the weather, okay? Temperature, the degree of the heat of a specific object or an environment. And we measure those in degrees. Like every morning when you watch the Weather Channel, it'll say, oh, it's 78 degrees. And that's the temperature. Now remember, in science, we're going to use Celsius. So remember that. All right, then you're probably wondering, well, what's the atmosphere? If the weather's in the atmosphere, atmosphere is just all the air that surrounds the earth. Okay, it's what we're breathing. That's atmosphere. It's all like a big bubble around the earth. Then you have this thing called air mass. Can you see that? Okay, that's like a large bubble of air, and that has about the same temperature and humidity throughout it. So like if a big air mass comes in, it's going to bring the temperature in and the humidity and whatever kind of weather it brings in. So, you know, it's like a mass of air that comes in. Okay? All right. Then we have this other thing called air pressure, and that's like the weight of air pushing on everything around it. So sometimes you're going to have a high air pressure and it's going to push it down, push everything out, or low air pressure, you know, there's nothing pushing it in, so all this stuff comes in. You can feel it when you go on an airplane. If you go up high, that's going to be a high pressure, and it's going to, you know, push your ears and make it pop. So that's the air has pressure, okay? Or it would just float away and we wouldn't have anything to breathe. Okay, so those are some terms that you really need to know and put it in your journal. All right, now remember, look at these pretty pictures. Thank Miss Cornegie for those. Okay, all right, these are like some fronts that we need to know. You have a cold front and a warm front. All right, cold fronts are when you remember the air mass that's like a bubble of air that comes in. Well, whenever the cold air comes in, first of all, sun starts it. It's got to warm up stuff, okay? So it's going to warm up this warm air. And remember, warm air goes up, okay? That's going to leave some space for cold air to come in. So when cold air comes in, warm air is going to go up, cold air comes in. And then that's the direction of the front because the arrow is going that way. And of course, that's a cold front because cold air is coming in, warm air goes up. And a lot of times it brings in, because it's a low pressure, brings in like clouds and storms. You know, whenever old man winter comes, we get storms, okay? Now, come to the warm front. It's kind of like the warm air is winning and it's going to push out the cold air. And so it goes that way. A lot of times we have like nice weather when it does that. So it's pushing out all that cold air mass, and then you get a warm front. It still rises, but it's winning. The cold air is going to go that way. Okay, those are our two fronts. Simple. We'll have to look at it later.